We've all played a terrible video game or two, but some video games are really bad and still become massive hits.
Now! The wall crashed! Yeah!
The following confirmed clunkers are now considered bona fide video game cult classics. But what makes these titles so endearing and enduring? Let's take a look at some admittedly terrible games that nevertheless earned some respect and loyal fanbases. QWOP made running hard. Want to get really frustrated? Just park yourself in front of QWOP, the 2008 browser flash game created by developer Bennett Foddy. The concept sounds simple enough. All you have to do is help an athlete run a 100-meter dash. But it turns out to be nearly impossible because of its bizarre control system. The player moves the athlete's legs using the Q, W, O, and P keys on their keyboard, which turns out to be way easier said than done. In a 2012 GDC talk, Foddy shed light on what inspired him to create such a masochistic game.
So more than anything else, what I love about games, what I love about making games is griefing the player. It's my number one thing.
By 2011, Foddy.net, the site that hosts the game, had over 30 million views. Some people must love the abuse. Sneak King, way bizarre. In 2006, Burger King launched a series of cheap Xbox 360 games to promote its chain of fast food restaurants. Developed by Blitz Games, the unusual marketing campaign consisted of 3 titles: Pocket Bike Racer, Big Bumpin', and Sneak King. The one that really stands out is Sneak King. You play the restaurant's creepy mascot, the King, and sneak around to deliver fast food to unsuspecting passers-by. As bizarre as it was, Burger King sold over 3.2 million copies of its advert games in a 6-week period.
A construction site was the unlikely setting yesterday for an impromptu visit from the King.
Today, the game is considered a legendary oddity and has been featured in speedrun streams for charity. Night Trap, Creepy Camp. Remember the Sega CD? It wasn't the greatest console to ever come out of the legendary Japanese gaming company, but it certainly had its charms. Case in point, the 1992 cult classic Night Trap. Developed by Digital Pictures, the player's goal in the interactive horror game is to protect a group of teens from a house full of bloodthirsty vampires. Although reviews were pretty bad, the game gained notoriety when it was cited by Senators Joe Lieberman and Herb Kohl in a 1993 Senate hearing on video game violence. Despite its notoriety for being both terrible and instigating scrutiny from the federal government, in 2017, Night Trap was deemed worthy of a special 25th anniversary re-release, which is certainly cause for celebration.
Party! Night
Moonwalker, who's bad? The late king of pop, Michael Jackson, made his mark on the world of video games with multiple titles based on his musical film, Moonwalker. Released in the late 1980s and early 90s, the Michael Jackson's Moonwalker games are best remembered for how they incorporated the king of pop's dance moves into beat-em-up combat. The plot is beyond weird. Michael Jackson is on a mission to save kidnapped children from the evil Mr. Big, all while busting moves to chip-tuned versions of his signature songs. Moonwalker didn't get great reviews, but the weirdness factor has turned it into a cult favorite. Today, it's a prized possession for many collectors who value the strange era of licensed video games.
Who's bad?
God Hand, way silly. Developed by Clove Studio, the 2006 game God Hand was a throwback to beat-em-up classics like Double Dragon and Streets of Rage. You play Gene, a man blessed with a pair of magic arms called God Hands that are quite effective for punching bad guys in the face, though his legs work pretty good too. IGN originally gave God Hand a 3 out of 10 rating, but then included the game on its list of top 100 PlayStation 2 games in 2010. What changed? Fans have come to love its truly innovative, free-form combat system and mix of interesting enemies with specific weaknesses.
Bring it on.
This game bites. In the 2004 role-playing game Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, you play an enterprising vampire in Los Angeles investigating an ancient relic that threatens to destroy the world of bloodsuckers. The game received decent reviews upon its release, but the combat system and level design were sharply criticized. Poor sales proved to be the last nail in the coffin for Troika Games, and the company closed shortly after Bloodlines came out.
Just couldn't bear it, huh?
Today, fans of the game are still releasing patches to fix many of the game's original design flaws, and modders add new content all the time. Clearly, Bloodlines was onto something. It just took us a while to catch on.